Sorry. It was at the end of my time frame. But anyway, playground, 3rd grade, yeah. They surrounded me. I clearly could see, I'm about to get jumped. Wasn't my first time dealing with people like that. Um, the one boy, he come up behind me and like wrapped my arms up, kind of over my shoulders, and to where they were kind of pinned like this, which was a mistake. um, I picked my feet up. I kicked Evan Truitt in the face and elbowed Matt. And the one behind me, I completely flipped over me and landed on him. And Richard was the only one that hung back. And trust me, I kept an eye on him out my peripheral. And when I was beating up the one, he come over and he got a hit on me. A couple of them, actually. Um, but once I was done with him, I grabbed a hold of Richard, threw him down on top of the other dude, and just started kneeing him in his side. Lifting myself up and dropping my knee into his ribs. Mind you, the teacher is literally 20 feet from us with her back to us. How do you not hear and see this? Yeah, she doesn't turn around until I'm kneeing Richard in the ribs because I can see her the whole time. And the only reason she turned around is because I think Sarah or one of the other kids, tapped her and said, they're fighting. She didn't say, they're attacking David or anything like that. She just said they're fighting. So when the teacher turned around, I got a pile of boys on the ground and I'm viciously attacking the one that was coming at me. And yeah, for a 3rd grader, that to a teacher, yeah, that looks pretty vicious. You know what I mean? And that's because I had to when I was younger. I had to fight people that were on drugs, man. You can't play. You gotta take people down. And trust me, when they're on drugs, that some of those drugs they do, that ain't an easy task. Yeah, I was ripped out of my bed at 3 years old and tossed down a flight of steps. So yeah, that was Rick. That's the guy that attacked my mom and choked her out, and then coming and grabbed me out of my bed. Yeah, I was the one doing everything that had to be done that night, except for taking over, the final, beating him up once we were fighting him again in the living room, which he's a big dude, and my mom's a little girl. I don't know what the hell caused this fight. Um, like I said, I was little, and I didn't know the fact that he had attacked my mom, and she was basically unconscious in the other room when he came to get me. I didn't know that. Not until I got older. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I really didn't. All I know is I got some big monster that wants to hurt me, and that ain't happening. And I don't know how I survived that fall, or if I ever had anything that broke. I never went to a hospital and got checked out that I can remember. All I know is I pushed him when he was fighting my mom, helped push him into a wood stove, and then his brother was sleeping on the couch, and he got up and started, wrestling with him. And I pushed everybody out the front door and went to my neighbor's house. Called the cops. Yeah. But I'm being a victim, right? Can't help that things in my life actually put me in a victim situation. It ain't like I planned it. I don't know what to tell y'all. And no, I'm not a very good storyteller either. Like Mr. Ballin and all them. Those guys, man. You know, I'm just not that good with words and talking. I just talk straight. That's why I say bad English. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. It means I know enough to get by and do what I need to do. I'm smarter in a lot of other ways. Hands-on building, uh, mechanics, things like that. I can visually take something apart with my mind and put it right back together. The problem with that is it makes me want to take everything apart and see if my mind was right. Yeah, that's what got me into building computer towers. Yeah, my son David used to help me with that. That's what I mean. Everybody thinks it's bullshit. We were together 12 years, split up for 2, not even 2, but supposedly I was never around. I just got sucked into this stereotype baby daddy bullshit. That wasn't me. I'm not going to bend over and kiss your ass just because we had a child together. I will help you, and I will do the 80-20 thing as long as I see that you're making an honest effort. But if I see that they're just using it, to hurt this child, doesn't want, to co-parent correctly, things like that, yeah, I'm not dealing with it. No. That way, however that child turns out, whatever lies that you have told them, they will learn the truth when they get older, and that's exactly what I told them. And Kyle, I came straight to you as soon as you were ready. I waited for you, bud. Just like I waited for Jazz. Alright, me and Jazzy's didn't go down too well. She's really messed up, yes. Females are a lot more emotional, and brainwashing them at a young age can cause all that. That's one reason why I never wanted her around her mother, or I should word that differently, because I didn't want her around her mother acting like that. I wanted her mother in her life, but come to the understanding that, hey, we just didn't work out. We should be able to keep stuff straight for this kid. That's it. I have tried that with all of them. I'm the one that comes up with the outlines of, for the visitation and stuff like that. They're the ones that always want to talk money. That's it. And then they don't want to stick to the other part of it. Then they want to hide things and try and, all because they just can't stick to what they said. That's all it was. They were not sticking to being a proper co-parent for that child. And they didn't want people to see it. Not only that, they were hurt because, I wasn't putting up with their princess bullcrap, especially when it involves the life of a newborn. That I don't care what anybody says. I was not promiscuous like that. Really? Bethany broke up with me when we were dating when I was 12. Why? Because apparently I was supposed to want to kiss her and hold her hand all the time. Never told me anything about it. Just got upset. I wasn't even paying attention to that. We were having a great time. Yeah, we had a great relationship, even as kids. I just never took it to that level. One of the reasons is I was never told to push it or to even worry about it. When it was right, everything would fall into place. And also that it was more respectful to wait to see and hear from her first. that you never took that first step towards any of that stuff until you seen that this is what she wanted. But I never knew about the silent don't tell him nothing part. That that was my first encounter with it. And yeah, I was 12. I laughed at it. I'm like, really? Yeah, I couldn't believe she told me that. And as much as she lies, I don't even know if that was the truth, but that's what she said. Yeah, that's when I carried her down the beach. I was like 12 or 13. I think I was 12, almost 13, and she was she was 11 or 12 because she was only a year behind me. Our birthdays were 3 days apart. Uh, yes, I still remember her birthday. I remember Jen's too. I remember Tiffany's. I remember Yvonne's. I don't remember Jen's anniversary. Me and Jen's anniversary. I don't remember me and Yvonne's anniversary. I remember me and Tiffany's. But yeah, Yvonne's, Bethany's, and Jen's. I don't remember. I know Jen's was in the summer. I know that around. Yeah, 4th of July. So sometime in July, or the end of May, or June, end of June. So yeah, ours must have been sometime in June of the year we met. I can't. I bet you I can narrow it down though. But anyway, yeah, this is the stuff people on the internet don't know. So there you go. What y'all do with it is what you do with it. These kids deserve justice no matter what. No matter what. Talking to me the way y'all did, and well, not all, but some, and just not listening or looking at what the kids were saying or the other things that were going on. It was all spelled out by her own actions and what they said, and that's all I was going for. I knew it was going to be tough. I mean, this is a situation that nobody wants to see or hear about. And the things I've had to see and hear, I don't wish on anybody, but I have no choice. You understand that? I'm trying to do this without doing what my dad instinct tells me to do. Because yeah, that was my first instinct, and I'm not gonna lie, it was, and I just don't want to be that type of person, not unless I necessarily have to. And this is a situation that yes, if I was around or on that road that night, I would have interfered with it, and I would have stopped it, whether it took my life or not. Yeah, that's when I don't care about hurting myself, when it comes to putting my life on the line for these people. I've done it for Jen, I've done it for Bethany, I've done it for Tiffany, I've done it for Yvonne. Oh yeah, in ways that most people are like, there ain't no way. Yeah. And I wish I could get Yvonne to speak up like she was before, but for some reason she doesn't. She says it's throwing her under the bus, and she doesn't want to get involved. Ridiculous. That's what I mean. It's like nobody wants to just admit, hey, yeah, I fucked up, and what they're saying is bullshit. We even lived with Yvonne for a little while. Yeah, because she fucked up the other apartment I had in Perryville. We were broke up. I got that apartment on my own, and I'm paying for a motel for her to stay in because she's fighting with her mom, Tiffany, and David. That's when little David was born. Um, Then I go up there because she's out of money and doesn't have anywhere to go, and she's clanging all over me, and I'm like, "What are you doing? We're not together." And she's like, "I want you back. I don't want this." I'm like, "Well, you're the one that keeps doing this. We don't need to go there." And I said, "You're right. We don't. We already know where that goes, but you need to understand it, because if you don't, then you can play games later. You got to understand that this kind of stuff cannot happen."